Maybe you should try. Please register for that. More importantly, how many of you are going to register for the Gita chanting competition as adults? Not a single one? Dang it. In this very chapter that we are learning, there is a shloka, Yadyadacharati sreshtaha tattadeva itarajanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tat anuvartate. Whether you agree or not, do you know who your children look up to for guidance? Fortunately, it is their parents. So, Sreshtaha means that who is a very pious, wise person. And to the kids, who is that wise and pious person? Is the parents. Yes, they may argue with you telling that their teachers are better than you, or somebody that they look up to is better than you, and also fight with you, argue with you. If the parents themselves do not have the first front foot in inspiring them, then it becomes difficult for the kids and to expect them to listen to, practice, adhere to, and live that for which you are bringing them here. See, that dialogue is necessary. The dialogue between the parent and the child as to why this is necessary for our identity, why we should learn, why we should practice, why we should memorize. If this environment is treated like KD, do you know KD? How many of you know KD? What is KD, Amma? It is prep for SAT. Karen dealers? That you just drop. You don't need to yourself do anything. You drop and it is for the kid. Culture, tradition, customs, even that which you are following today, isn't it because your parents were following that? Same to same. So try participating, try learning, try be the inspiration. It can be pushed from the external, and that too for a brief period of 9 to 10:30. And there is only so much that we can push from here. If your participation is not there, then that would fall flat. Swami ji, यहाँ तक ले आ रहे हैं वही बड़ी गनीमत है. Even we bringing it here is a big deal. My thing is, you have already made the first step. Don't fall short. It will have a better result if you also participate. One of our congregation members shared with me that she and her daughter both got National Service Award, gold medal, silver medal. And that is called participating by being the lead, being the, like you are a part of that, their life, and you show by example. And if that example is not there, when I hear many parents come back to me once the kids are in their third year and fourth year in the university and then come back and say, "Ab kya kare?" BLNL. BLNL का मतलब समझते हैं? बेटर लक नेक्स्ट लाइफ. अब कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Whatever we can do, whatever we can plug in is before they step out of our umbrella, which is till the 12th grade. And once they step out, they're just guests at home. And they write a lot. They write their text messages. That is the only time that they will respond. Mom, Dad, send some money. After 4 years, even that connection will be gone. So whatever you have to invest yourself in, it is now. So don't delay. Don't lose the opportunity. It's a serious note. All of these things matter. Did I get across? So think about participating, learning. Of the 43 shlokas, if you learn 10 shlokas, I am proud of you. If you can learn all 43, मैं कंधे पे बिठा के ले जाऊंगा मैं आपको सवारी पे. So please think through. Let us go back to the Bhaja Govindam shloka. Repeat after me. We are still stuck in the ninth shloka. Please repeat after me. Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan muktihi. In the last chapter, or this particular chapter that we are learning to chant, Tritiyodhyayaha, in the very end, there is a example given. The example given is of the horses and the chariot. Many an imaginary painter get confused with this example and the very chariot that Bhagavan Krishna himself was driving with Arjuna in it. They are two different. The example given in this particular chapter has a chariot with 5 horsepower, meaning there were 5 horses yoked to it. The chariot that Bhagavan Krishna himself was driving for Arjuna was 4 horsepower. There are only 4 horses. So this example and that is not the same. Having made that clarity, when the horses are brought in, they have lived wild. They have lived in the forest. They have lived in the wild. When they are caught, when they are brought in, they don't have the adaptability, they don't have the necessary practice to be of use to humanity. You try climbing, it will kick you. Donkeys can kick you with their rear legs only. Horses can kick you both front and back. They'll throw you off. So what do? I've seen more towards Fort Worth and beyond. Once you go there in the rural areas, you will see a lot of ranches. And horse breeding is very popular in that area. You will see that there is a ring. This ring has fortified, barricaded ring. These wild horses are brought in. and they are let free in that ring. They get acclimatized to that ring. Then they start reducing the span of it, the radius of it. Then they introduce the rope around its neck. Then they introduce the, what do you call it? The reins. Then slowly get them used to the trainer in it. All this process until it yields and it knows that you are the master and that it is a friendly environment for the horse to participate in. That whole process is called breaking the horse. Once it is broken in, then you get on to it, teach it how to gallop, for which you have to become one with it and teach its tricks. There are different horses for different purposes. There are race horses, then there are competition horses, then there are those horses which are for display and parading it, then there are those which are used for the wagons. Each one has to be trained to that particular field and then used in that context. What happens if you use one contextual horse in a different context? In Hindi we say लेने के देने पड़ जाते हैं. On Bombay sea face, do you know where I am talking, what I am talking about? How many of you know Bombay? हाँ, वर्ली जानते हैं? हाँ, वर्ली sea face. There are lots of these horse-drawn wagons. So I was with Yuva Kendra members. We had gone there. We had 6 or 7 wagons, so we filled it all because we had that many people. And the wagon that I was in, when I got in, the fellow, the tanga wala that was driving it, he was no Basanti. You understand what I am referring to? He was no Basanti. And every 3 to 4 minutes, the horse would stop. He would go in front of the horse and then come back again after 3 minutes, and the horse would take the wagon. Every 3-4 minutes. The rest of them were in the front, already gone. And when you go with these Yuva Kendra members, I have to have an eye on them, they're under my responsibility. I was a little panicking. So finally, the 4th time I said, "Bhaiya, kar kya rahe ho? Chalate kyun nahi ho? Kar kya rahe ho?" So he said, "Sahab, ye jo घोड़ा है, ये शादी का घोड़ा है, टांगे का घोड़ा नहीं है. This horse is usually on the groom that rides it. So it has been acclimatized that every 4 minutes it walks, and then people have to dance in front of it, then get onto it, and it starts galloping again. No dance, no move. क्योंकि ये शादी का घोड़ा है." To find a horse that is versatile, that can run all over the place, it's difficult because they get acclimatized to one particular thing. To change that pattern, it requires a lot of skill. So the example is given of those horses which are yoked to the chariot. There are 5 horses that pull this particular chariot, which is in the example, the 5 chariots are the organs of perception, our sense organs. The chariot itself is this body. Where do we drag this body to? Wherever the senses are hooked onto. है कि नहीं? At least I can say bodily we are present here. Why are you here? Because Sunday 9 to 10:30, this is what we have acclimatized the body to be in. Friday evenings, Swamiji, पूछो मत. TGIF. Wherever the body, the sense organs are hooked onto, that is where it drags the body also to. So the chariot itself is the body. Most of the vehicles have no designated chauffeur. Usually the chauffeur is the chauffeur. If not, make them one. Sometimes, in this equality thing, I tell, you are missing out on the good aspect of it. Chauffeur matlab husband. Train them to be your chauffeurs. Chal gadi nikal, ji ma'am saab, and then ready for you. When you call in for an Uber or a what do you call those ugly long vehicles? Limo. I find them ugly. There is no balance in it. And they make the limo out of Hummer. Nothing looks dumber. So when it comes with a driver in it. So the chariot requires a driver. And the driver themselves do not drive the car for their own pleasure, but they are at the pleasure of someone else that is being driven. So the driver, the one who is in the driving seat, is our buddhi. And the one who is being driven is the mind. How many elements have I introduced? Sense organs, the body, the intellect, the mind. 4 padarth hain, only 4. If we know how to balance it and control it, you are the safest one for yourself and as well as for everybody around you that you are concerned with. What are the 4 elements? The sense organs, the body, the mind, and the intellect. 4 things. How is it usually? Wild, like the horse. It has to be yoked in. Before you yoke it in, it has to be broken in. How does one break in? There is no shortcut other than healthy practices. When do these healthy practices be inculcated? Gurudev used to say, our children are the hope. So there were few adults. So they asked Swamiji, if they are the hope, then what about us? The Gurudev had a very unique style of laughing, so he started shaking his shoulders. Laughing, and I said, if they are the hope, you are the, and he stopped. You are the hopeless, because if not inculcated young, it's very difficult to change at the young at heart. ओल्ड बोलते हैं तो बुरा लगता है सबको, तो young at heart. That place and environment where we can train ourselves to be broken in, yoked, and we can ride it for the safest purpose, the most productive purpose. That environment is called Satsanga. Satsanga inculcates that. Now, in this inculcation, the biggest stumbling block is three factors: I, me, myself. My own comfort zones, my own lethargic patterns, my own habits. Every January, we stand in front of the mirror, or December end, we stand in front of the mirror. There are several layers of thoughts that are passing by. क्या यार, एक और साल चला गया. One more year has passed by. It actually flew by. I don't know what was. This year especially, it just flew by. And look at this. क्या हाल बना रखा है. I have to do something with this. I have double chin, I have triple chin, I have layers of things that I have put on. I have to do something with this. Come this January, I am taking a resolution. I am going to buy. You know this, you walk on it, it doesn't work. कभी use ही नहीं किया था. I'm going to trade it in and get a elliptical. They say it is safe for your knees. I'm going to take charge. Does it sound familiar? And you go trade it in, they come pick it up, drop off the new machine. Everybody in the house is looking at it with a different perspective. I can hang my towel here. I can leave the basket of old clothes here. Or the yellow pages, I can leave it on this. And that's what it ends up being. And with a lot of enthusiasm, you start. January, sweat it out every day, consistently, for about half an hour. How long does it last? थोड़ा फीडबैक दीजिए ना. हाँ? 1 month? Who said that? 1 month? गलत बोल रहे हो यार. Okay, this side. How many? 1 to 2 weeks. That sounds more predictably good. 1 month. Maybe the thought of it still remains for 1 month. That much. But sweating it out maybe 1 to 2 weeks. And then starts the old pattern. आज नहीं यार, आज तो कुछ ज्यादा ही खा लिया कल से. So these are the stumbling blocks. Satsangatve nisangatvam. Satsanga not only provides the discipline but also provides the inspiration to look forward for that change and to make that change a reality. So we break those older patterns of complacent, lethargic patterns, procrastinating patterns. That is called the detachment from the wrong. Satsangatve nisangatvam. When the detachment from the wrong things happen, then happens nirmohatvam. Moha is a delusion. Long time ago, I was still a very young Yuva Kendra member, my first year or second year. There was this Amma, a complete rounded personality. She comes to meet Gurudev, and he was just in one floor up, and she climbs that huffing, puffing, reaches to the office room that Gurudev was using. We were all sitting outside. We were Yuva Kendra members, about 25-30 of us were sitting outside. हमारी कुछ मस्ती चल रही थी बाहर. And 2 minutes after she enters in, 2 or 3 minutes, Gurudev was sitting in an office chair. So he leans towards the door where he can see us clearly. And then he announces, "Come! There is a miracle here." Gurudev saying one thing, we would all jump in. So we all jumped in, ran there, and we were eagerly looking, what is the miracle? And that too, Gurudev himself saying that there is some miracle happening. We were all like, this is, look, there is an effect without a cause. She claims that she doesn't eat, but she is putting on weight. Without karana, there cannot be the karya. Without the cause, there cannot be effect. Delusion becomes the primary cause for our attachments. Now, what is delusion? Moha. The root word is moha. मोह से मोह बनता है. Moha means delusion. Now, how does one define moha? That which is seen not. That which is not is seen. Shall I repeat it? That which exists not is seen and experienced. That which exists is neglected or not seen. I mean, I can take this definition into so many different angles. We have so many blessings to count every minute that we are alive. Like Amma asked, how is your hand? I said, I couldn't complain. Because every time I go to the surgeon, monthly once, मेरा उनसे सत्संग होता है. So every month that I go, he tries to prick my ego by saying, at your age, I did not think you would recover this fast. I'm like, हाथ तो दर्द करता ही है, दिल तक क्यों पहुंचाते हो यार? I was anticipating that it would take 6 to 8 months for you to for your tendons to recover. In 3 months, you have already recovered. And that is a blessing. When the way the knife landed, I was expecting much worse. It's still functional. You have to learn how to count those blessings. That which is, appreciate it. That which is not, visualizing that that exists and running after it. That is called illusion. Now here it takes a serious note. What is it that truly exists and what is it that truly doesn't exist? Existential reality is the only thing which exists. The rest of it all is a projected reality depending on each one's projecting capacities. And it is this projecting capacity which makes us feel that the grass is always green on the other side. Many coffee tables, chai pe charcha, when you go to somebody's house for bhiksha and they've invited few people, all the men are in one group, all the women are in one group, all the children are in one group. Sometimes I see that people have this tendency to talk politics, talk life, talk all kinds of things. There is no starting point, there is no ending point, chalta rehta hai. Now one of the favorite topic is India bashing. All the things that are bad. वहाँ पे pollution है, वहाँ पे the whole 9 yards, right? When such things happen, this is just before food can start. I am very careful. I don't participate in such dialogue. डॉक्टर के साथ, कार ड्राइवर के साथ और खाना परोसने वाले के साथ कभी पंगा नहीं लेते. You never have to irritate them. I keep quiet. स्वामी जी आप क्या बोलते हो? मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला. नहीं आप क्या बोलोगे? मुझे कुछ नहीं बोलना है. खाना कब खिलाओगे? नहीं बताइए ना. See, being there, are there problems? My take on it is, show me a place where there is no problem. Show me a place where there is no problem. Because I can guarantee you, wherever you are, problem begins from there. सारे प्रॉब्लम का जड़ यहीं पे है, तो you take it, carry it with wherever you go. See, the India bashers, those set of problems that are there, that are bad, that are painful to go through, those set of problems are not here. Here, there are new set of problems. Am I saying anything wild? Isn't that the fact? Those set of problems are not there, but here it has different set of problems. If you and your husband or your wife had to go out, both of you had to go out, children had to stay at home, that nosy neighbor who always asks, Auntie ji, zara dekh lo na bachchon ko. And you go out, you don't need a babysitter. The same nosy neighbors, the same nosy relatives, they would pitch in. You cannot leave them home alone until they are what, 12, 13? You have to chauffeur them at least until they are 15. There are different sets of problems. But to assume that every time that the other side is always green, there is some imaginary projection that we are making. There must be a lot of input that must have gone in for that projection. But nonetheless, there is a projected reality versus that which is. Moha is that ability wherein we neglect that which are our blessings, that which is, and always keep projecting to that which is not. And that which is not, we spend most of our time feeling sad, mad, bad about it. Kyun? Whoa. That is 80% of the life. The last 20% of the life, arey, I wasted my life in these projections. That which I missed was better. This is the last 20% of life. वो भी क्या दिन थे? Do we not, reminiscence about our, when I was a kid? क्या दिन थे? पेड़ पे चढ़ता था, आम काट के खाता था. वो आम क्या थे? वाह! Of the childhood, of the college days, of the opportunities, of the masti, of the friends. That, pay attention here. That which does not allow us to be present in this present moment as the presence, but constantly keep projecting about something which is not there, or about that which is gone by and still therefore not there. That moha happens only when there is attachment. Once that attachment is nissanga, then the moha becomes weakened. Now that you have experienced that side of the world and this side of the world and the problems still continue, you said, I am settled. मुझे कहीं नहीं होना. Everywhere you go, it's the same thing. Now let me make the best out of what is. Wisdom is speaking. Which is pretty close to a saying, right? Flower where you are potted. Make the best of what is. Moha exists because of attachment. Once the attachment is weakened, attachment is being knocked out, the effect of that attachment, which is the moha delusion, starts dwindling away. Once that moha is dwindling, we have a better clarity, a better vision. Otherwise, we are constantly carried away with our own projected reality than the factual realities. I call them as the blessings. Why do we not see them as blessings? It's called dimagi kida. There is an eczema in our buddhi. खुजली बोलते हैं इसको, eczema. We compare. As soon as you compare, there is superiority, inferiority, competition. All of that gets stirred in, and then the rat race begins. The rat race begins where that which is not appreciated. It expresses in so many different ways. Food, hot food has been served on the table. This was recently in somebody's house. A husband, after eating it, says, "ओ मम्मी के हाथ का है ना, वो बात नहीं है इसमें." मेरे को चिढ़ मच गई. I don't think they will invite me again. I said, तू कभी बनाता है? Do you ever go and cook? No. Shut up and eat. सीधी सी बात है. औकात नहीं है और हड़बड़ हड़बड़. You are also a good chef. Then make a commentary. Otherwise it is a blessing. Bloody eat it. Shut up. Comparison, contrast, superiority, inferiority, हर चीज में मोह, because blinded by our own attachments, which creates a delusional projection. How is somebody else? How is their life? कितने गाड़ियां हैं, घर कितना बड़ा है, कौन से लोकेलिटी में है, is it what do you call those houses, gated community. Thank you. किसने बोला? हाँ, gated community. Prison also is a gated community. जाओ बैठो. मति भ्रष्ट. Now, I have nothing wrong, I have nothing against those who are in gated community. I am talking about those who compare, contrast. हमेशा there is a तूफान inside. अरे बाप रे, उनका घर देखो, उनकी गाड़ी देखो, उनके कपड़े देखो, उनकी. It's all because of that delusion. And deluded don't want to listen to it as delusion. Give a wise advice, you will become their favorite new enemy. सुनने को तैयार ही नहीं है. Satsanga weakens attachment, wrong attachments. When I say wrong attachments, there are certain attachments which are good. So wrong attachments are weakened. When that weakens, moha, delusion, which is like a thick cloud which changes our very perspective. And once that moha is removed, there is this constant kachpach, that tufan, that storm that is going inside. When that settles, what you experience is called an inner peace. Shanti. one mother introduced her child to me. She was introducing her children at their home when I had gone. The older one was, eating with us, so she introduced. And she took me to the younger one's room, very slowly, gently opened it and showed me my younger one. He's an angel as long as he's asleep. Because once he wakes up, it is like a tornado around. We also have our peace only when we sleep. Even to reach to that sleep seems to be impossible these days. Blessed are those who can sleep even in a satsang. No, I am not encouraging or being your inspiration here. And funny is when the spouse sitting next, feeling embarrassed and pokes, said, "Wake up." What? I'm just sleeping. No, you were snoring. Now, finding that peace by mistake in sleep is no peace. With an agitated inside, with an agitated mind, constantly interacting with the world outside, what am I giving to the environment? Whatever I have excess in. Every time we stand there and take the pledge, producing more than what we consume, giving more than what we take, I have a giggle up in my head. What do we give? That which we have in excess and in accessibility. To such people, even if you say Hari Om, if you say good morning, good morning, okay, fine. I just said good morning. उस पे भी चिढ़ जाते हैं. थोपड़ा लेके आ जाते हैं सवेरे सवेरे, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग. What is good in the morning? For you it is a morning, for me it is a morning. Good morning चले आते हैं. Have you met such people? No, even adults. वो क्या कम है क्या? Same genetic defect. She said teenagers. As the parents are also the same. See, if we do not have that peace within, you tell me, some days by mistake when you wake up, you feel very peaceful, purely by mistake. There is no formula that you have applied to reach there. By mistake, galti se, you have reached, you're very peaceful. You feel very energetic, inspiring, positive. And with that mindset, when you look at the world, how does the world look like? गार्डन क्या मस्त दिख रहा है. चाय, क्या मस्त चाय बना है. Compare it with the regular days wherein you woke up 15 minutes late, children are refusing to wake up. Now you have to get them ready, get the older child also ready, then you have to put food on the table, then breakfast, and then lunch, and then pack for yourself. You almost were about to drive, you remembered coffee is on the kitchen counter. Kicking yourself, you go again, grab that, sit down. And then with that kind of frustration, you come to office. Good morning. Kya good morning? Huh? Suru. We contribute, distribute liberally that which we are established in. If we are established in peace, what do we contribute to the environment? Peace. Very rarely you find such people who are composed, they are peace. Those who are at peace doesn't mean that they don't have problems in life. They just know how to handle it. There is nobody in this world who doesn't have a problem. Is there anybody here who doesn't have a problem? I'm glad nobody raised their hand, because at 10:30 we would have been going for their funeral. Until that final moment when we kick the bucket, there will be something or the other. If not anything, at least common cold. Why? Pollen. Blessings of Texas. सीवीड नहीं क्या, ragweed? Ragweed. Pollen. Problem तो हर किसी को होता है. I tell, the electric pole which is there in this corner, go talk to that electric pole. Swami ji, कुछ हो गया आपको. So talk to that electric pole. Even that fellow will have problem. Electric pole क्या problem हो सकता है? 2 doors from Saket on that side. They have 3 dogs. And that elderly gentleman every day in the morning takes them out for a walk. The pillar also has a problem. You and I walking, talking, moving, interacting actively, there will be problems. But are we facing that problem with a sense of peace from within? Or from a sense of shattered to pieces? That makes a difference. When delusion is less, peace is high, and such peaceful people can truly cherish, enjoy, bask, and be the source of joy for everyone, including themselves. Isn't that the greatest seva that we can do to the world? Somebody who is taking, asking, demanding, versus somebody who has the ability to give, to share. Who do you put on a higher platform? When you have to constantly take from an environment, don't you feel bad? थोड़ी तो हिचकिचाहट होती है कि क्या मांगते रहते हैं यार. From that mindset that whatever I have, I am ready to share. I have nothing to. And what is the greatest that you can share? Is the joy, is the peace. Whatever material you have, the other person also has the ability to have it. What is it that is very rare? Is this sense of peace, the sanctity of peace, and the joy. The ability to give it, share it. If in each community there are 4 or 5 such people, your antidepressants will get reduced. You just need to interact. That is called satsang again. It's a feedback loop. That being in presence of such who can give you peace and joy is a satsang. But the question is, am I one such? Can I be one such? Starting from our own main framework, which is starting at a family. Then the neighborhood, then the community. That I take in all that which that life can offer, churn it in, hold it like Neelakantha, that which is poisonous, that which is negative, that which is agitating, hold it in, digest it, and what was given at the end of it? Amrita Kalasha. Jivan Mukti, Amrita, both are same. Can I be that contributor? Nischala Tatve Jivan Mukti. That is called the dharmic way of life, which is unlike the socialistic or the capitalistic. Where every environment is respected, every environment is always catered to, and I am the one who is responsible for its balance. Why? I am in balance, I can only give balance. I am in peace, I can only contribute that peace. I am in that joy, I can give you that joy. I'll stop here. We will continue with the next shloka next week. Imagine Adi Shankaracharya ji thinking through all of this, puts it in just 4 words in one shloka, 4 words repeated 2 times, and such depth delivered in 4 words. Even if you can memorize this one shloka, my Bhajagovindam teaching is satisfactorily done. सत्संगत्वे, जोर से बोलिए ना, निस्संगत्वे, निर्मोहत्वे, निश्चल तत्व, निश्चल तत्वे, आज मेरी मुक्ति होगी. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.